Well, greetings to you. And please make sure to like and subscribe and share. Like, subscribe, and share. This program today, because I'll continue with the fact that I haven't changed my position. You have followed, like I have, the press conference from Guyana's best, worst president ever, Irfan Ali. And like he has always done, deflect, distract, and never answers the question or stick to the issues, but just rumble and jumble and continue to tumble on matters that Guyanese don't give a shit about. What Guyanese are concerned with is not what the president thinks is priority to deal with. Because those issues that the country is concerned with, if the president should address them, he might say something to incriminate himself. Therefore, he pleads ignorance. He pleads ignorance. We'll talk about that. And there are so many other issues that I've made a note of that I want to address today. See, it's a lot of stuff. I still write the old-fashioned way. But when it's too much, I just put it on my agenda on the laptop so I can also read and things like that. I guess you got to be smart to do that, right? You can't be a dunce and still write and can't be. So I think I'm still smart. I know I'm still smart. This is coffee. Mushroom coffee. Welcome to the Uncensored Guyana Show. I am Dr. L. Prasad, and I'm a real doctor. I'm also a real politician. If Ali is a politician, I'm a politician. So let's get on with it. What I want to cover first, that is of importance. What you're missing here, you see, in the president's ramblings, the gibberish about the health sector and all the fancy numbers that he pulled from his head, 18,000 people, 3,000 surgery, 10,000 this, 20,000 this, all that bullshit that he thought best to bring to Guyanese, when the fact on the ground is, the fact, not hearsay, on the ground is, Guyanese, the people of Guyana, give me a thumbs up if you're getting my audio properly. It's important that you do. Let me just double check here. Give me a thumbs up if you're getting my... The people who have to visit the many hospitals that the president has built, billions of taxpayers' dollars, Those people you need to talk with and ask them about their experiences at these facilities. How many Guyanese can say they have received a good quality of health care in the Guyana health system? How many? We don't want to hear figures, Mr. President. That's what people keep getting away with. Oh, did you hear what the president says? So much thousands and thousands of this. No. The reality on the ground is the health sector in Guyana sucks. It sucks. Yes, it's terrible. All the billions invested in the health sector, yet it sucks. Poor services, harsh public relations. The patients are treated bad. They lack drugs. It's terrible. It is. Address the elephant in the room. Your government failed in providing proper health care. We don't want to hear about buildings. You could have had one health facility in Guyana, but you provide the best quality of care for the citizens. You don't want to hear about tens of thousands of hospitals that was built, figuratively speaking. And that's what people should keep their minds on. Progress. Yeah, the infrastructure president. Progress. Just build a few shit. You see the building there, we did that. You see the road there, we did that. Okay. Then remark on that only. Don't come and talk about quality of health care. Talk to the citizens. They'll tell you it's shitty, it's terrible, and it's getting worse. To the fact that you have a new statistics now where you have a lot of young people age 15 and they contract HIV at age 15. They probably got the signs. They start getting the signs around age 15. Then they get the signs. Then they go get a check and they get a test and they realize that they're HIV positive. They could have started that long before. Look at the stats, Mr. President. Look at the HIV stats. Let's deal with that. During your time in office from 2020 to 2026, there's a massive increase in infections on young people in Guyana. Young people. Look at the seniors. Look at the seniors that are depending on their pension, the old age pension, the NIS pension. It is terrible. Under your government, Ali, you're talking about billions spent with health this and health that, and the citizens can't even get $100 to buy a bottle of water that you want to dominate the market with. Oh, when the pensioners go to get their NIS, they buy a bottle of water. So you're sizing that up. You want that too. You want that pensioners' money too. It's not enough that you have access to billions. You want the $100 Guyana dollars the pensioner has put aside to at least buy some clean drinking water. Because they can't drink the shit coming through their tap in the houses that you and your brother improved. Yeah, GWI, Sheikh Bash. He was an arsehole as a minister, and now he's a junkie as a fucking head of GWI. Sheikh Bash. One happy family. Muslim brothers and sisters. Why don't you treat Muhammad the way you treat your other Muslim brothers and sisters, President Ali? You're all Muslim, right? You're covering for Sheikh Bash as well. What is he, Hindu? Since when Hindus are comfortable with a Muslim ruler? You're hypocrites. You're cussing me. Any true Hindu, you want a Muslim ruler to rule you? As a Hindu? Tell that to the people in India. That's why they separated Pakistan and India. They want no Muslim to rule them. Yes, Mr. President. The same young people that you seem to have this passion for A lot of them HIV positive. Why? Because a lot of the rich men, possibly the ones who are getting billions in contract, it is my opinion, a lot of these rich men are sizing up, targeting these 11-year-old boys, 12-year-old boys, 13-year-old boys, and promising them smartphones. Oh, school is out. School begins shortly. You need a Nike. You need a nice sneakers. Give up the ass. And these rich men are targeting these vulnerable boys to whom their parents can't deliver the kind of fantasy they want, because why? Their parents have to survive in an economy that was fucked up by you, President Ali. Cash grant is once a year. When again they'll get cash grant? When again? But the mother and father has to go to a job that they're unhappy with. They have to accept a salary that even if they combine it together, it can't do shit. They got to pay back the mortgage that they took to buy the homes that you sold them, Mr. President. So their children got to look at other means. And they're on social media, the same social media that you are proposing to ban. Oh, we can read between the lines. You and Nandalal, we can read between the lines. The same social media you want to ban, yes, those rich men are hustling those boys, and they're using condom. They're buggering the boys in their asses, and they're passing on the viruses to these innocent, yeah, they're innocent. Innocent boys, what? For a few dollars more. Now the stats is so high in the health sector. Your billions in took care of them. All the programs that should have educated these children, where is it? Minister of Health? What happened there? So no, that is not getting coverage, but I'll give it coverage. I'll give it coverage so people understand. All this massive infrastructure, all this massive corruption that we are seeing there, the money is only going one way. While the citizens, the future of the country, they may not have a future. Because when this thing spread and it comes be above 60% of the Guyanese men, males, HIV positive, that will indicate that that amount is either bisexual or homosexual. What happened to the young women getting pregnant? It's going to scare the hell out of them to actually trust a man to want to have unprotected sex with him. And if that unprotected sex never happens, it means they wouldn't get pregnant, and it means the population of Guyana will dwindle. And who will replace them? The same group the government now is targeting, the Spaniards. I mean Spain, I mean Spanish-speaking people. Venezuelan, the Cubans, the Portuguese-speaking people, Brazil. Yes, those light-skinned people that Ali regime seemed to be obsessed with, and he's dark-skinned. I mean, fuck. You would think the Muslim brother in color conscious. But every avenue of his government, look at what's happening. The outreach when it comes to best services seem to target the people that has a little lighter skin. The caste system. So all them dark-skinned ones gonna stay at the bottom and contract HIV, die quick, so that the light-skinned ones can take over the country. And then they get to, in another few years, they get to a system where you put the dark-skinned ones to work in the sun, because after all, it's El Nino. So we need air conditioning. And them niggas can't use, the dark-skinned folks can't use the air conditioning because they are born in the sun. They could take the heat. Yeah, Mr. President. You're fucking up the generation. Progress only with infrastructure. And that infrastructure progress is only going to a certain group of people that you failed to address in your press conference. You failed to address it. And look, this reporter, Svetlana Marshall, Svetlana, sweat, kind of sexual. Anyway, the Gordon Mosley. You see, Gordon? Now I like you. Yeah, I like you. I realize why you covered the way you covered. I like you now. You're on my good list. You know, good list, yeah. The only person in that room, and I suffered the agony. I suffered the agony to endure because I wanted to see how this man is in his usual theatrics. The only person that made sense when it comes to asking questions is that lady, Svetlana Marshall, from the news source Gordon Mosley newscast. She's the only one. And before the president, consider it an honor to have an actual reporter ask him serious questions. He is dismissive. It seemed like he literally wanted to step down and slap the hell out of that woman and say, hey, you are a woman. You don't ask a man a question. Shut the fuck up. Yes, Ali, that was your attitude. I saw your eyes getting red with rage. If there are no cameras there, or if this was one of those countries, Muslim countries, where women didn't have the privileges to question men, I would be sorry for that woman. The shit that's running through your mind when she asks you those questions that you refuse to answer. So she wasn't being disrespectful. She was just being a journalist, a serious journalist. Guyana needs more of that. And them idiots, them girls from Newsroom. Yeah, that band of the Rainbow Coalition of Newsroom. Government. It's fucking boring to listen to them. Oh, by the way, they locked me out of their group. So, yeah, even when I was for the PPP, they didn't like the fact that I sometimes talk about buggery and all kinds of stuff. They didn't like that. So they shut me out. So don't think about posting my thing in that group. They're going to delete it and they'll ban you. So let me address them this way. Those idiots there, and the black one, that lady that asked the question to the president. President Ali, that woman was within her right to ask you the questions she asked you, because everything you said from the beginning of your press conference was bullshit. Guyanese aren't interested in that. Guyanese are interested in the discrimination in the procurement system. Guyanese want to know, how is it that your brother, having a company less than 3 days old, can secure from 2023 to now almost 12 billion in contracts, and the receipts were exposed? In no hearsay. The receipts were exposed, Mr. President. But you navigated in such a skillful way. Or Kwame McCoy, was it you that ordered the journalists not to ask questions about the president's brother? When they assembled, did you say before the president came out, everyone, we would like you to respectfully not include this trending thing about the president's brother in your questions? You can ask about anything else, even the farm, but don't mention the president's brothers to the president. Was it you, Kwame, that says that ordered people not to do that? I would understand if it's you, because I saw your facial expression, Kwame. You were pissed when Svetlana Marshall was asking those questions to the president. But Kwame, I like you. Don't be a nigger. I know you've been there with the PPP forever. I know that. You have loyalty. I get it. But don't be a nigger. Don't do it. I'm watching you, Kwame. I like you, but don't be a nigger. Mr. President, You didn't answer the question about your brother. You dismissed the question about your farm. And most importantly, most disrespectfully, disrespectingly, most shamelessly, Mr. President, the thing that concerns Guyanese the most, not about stats with electricity and all that kind of stuff, the Barima tragedy that people are still hurting from. The simple question is, what the fuck you gonna do with Ejel and Indar? And your position is, we have to respect the commission. We have to wait on the recommendation of the commission that you single-handedly handpicked and swore in with your chief magistrate. I guess you're pissed with her. You mean that commission, President Ali? You're telling Guyanese now to wait on the commission's findings, and you have black men in fucking prison for the very thing the commission is currently investigating? Why the fuck you didn't wait on the commission before you arrest those black men and throw them in prison without bail? Why didn't you wait on the commission? You know very well what the commission's findings will be. It will further strengthen the Attorney General's case, the DPP's position, and quite frankly, Judge Judy's ruling that these Negroes deserves to rot in jail. And Ejel, well, he wasn't directly responsible. So therefore, with respect to the commission's report, I think we can put this issue to rest. That the persons culpable for this heinous crime against the Guyanese citizen, they are behind bars and waiting trial. And we should not allow people that are not credible to tell us what to do or how to think or what to think. At the end of the day, my ministers are exonerated. My government is saved thanks to the ruling of the commission. You should trust the commission. I have nothing more to say on that matter until the commission completes their report. And whatever they say, we are going to deal with that, yeah. But those black men are in prison. The boat is still at the bottom of the sea. It's still at the bottom of the sea. Ejel is still on the job. Indar is still on the job. But we wait on commission. I'm not addicted to coffee. I do have a choice. I chose to drink coffee. Sometimes I take lemon juice, or sometimes just water. In the same way, I do have a choice right now on the shows I've been doing. And I chose to stand with the people of Guyana against a tyrannic government. Tyrannic government. A hypocritical government. A demonic, sinful government. I choose to stand with Guyanese against you, Irfan Ali, and your so-called government or cabinet. Based on what you have been saying, Mr. President, and Anil Nandalal, who wants to sue everybody for saying he stole some law books, you are kind of repeating the same kind of language now, telling people they need to use the courts against social media. In other words, if somebody says Irfan Ali, you're getting great. You could sue them for that because it's not a fact. You could say, well, I put some white stuff on my beard. That's where we're getting at. The same way you have alleged during the 5 years of Granger, you jagged you on the same anil. You've made almost 100 or more allegations against David Granger. Coming up to the elections, thousands. And all streamlined on social media. All of it. Nobody sued you. Nobody told you shit. I mean, the Granger government had an issue with, they had some cyber crime laws that they enacted. It was because of shit that you were saying. That's why they pushed the cyber stuff. You forgot how you used social media and Facebook during the campaign trail 2020 and 2025 to push all kinds of propaganda, fake news, all kinds of stuff. You forgot that, Anil Nandalal. And now, because social media is now the new newspaper, magazine, radio, breaking news, and people have it on their phones, you're scared because every man, woman, and child have access to their phones, and they can get first-hand information for the wrongs, the corruption, and the evil you're doing against Guyanese. This in the 60s or the 70s or the early 2000s. This is 2026. You're scared because you want to control the information so you can suppress the information. You can suppress the evidence and you can push whatever narrative you want to push. And Guyanese will go with it to say, oh, okay, yeah, if the government says that, then the government is credible. Everything else you want to shut down. So you're threatening to sue people because suing people directly ties to their money. And you want to get people to get in order fast, threaten their money, sanction their money, censor their money, and they'll fall into line. They'll know their place. That's what you're aiming for. You're accusing Granger of being a dictator. Oh, we see now. We see now because we are hearing the rhetoric, the well-known rhetoric from dictators. And don't quote the UK, President Ali. Don't do that. Don't you dare. Try to use England as an example on cyber laws. Don't you dare. Look at that country, how it's fucked up. It's a mess. Look at it. And they are white people. They are white people and they can't stand their government, even their kingdom, they can't stand them. They want to get rid of them. You want to use that same shit against black and Indian in Guyana? You're stupid or what? What's wrong with you? You want to bring this tyrannic so-called internet laws that China has and Russia, wherever, against a multi-ethnic country? Give it a shot. Go ahead, Anil. Go the fuck ahead. Pass your laws. You have 36 seats in the parliament. Go ahead. Pass your laws. Go and jail people for cussing you out on social media, calling you out for your bullshit. Go ahead, sue them. And you know that black people have nothing to give you. So what are you going to sue them for? Anil, Mr. President, what are you going to sue black people for? The cash grant? No. The court system that you controls going to give them an option. Pay this 20 million or 10 years in prison. They don't have the 20 million, so it's jail time. And when they are in prison, what happens? They can't vote. They can't protest. And the rest of the Negroes would be scared to say anything against you, Ali, because oh my gosh, they're gonna sue me, and I don't have the money. And I want, you know what? Let them do what they want to do. Is fine. Wait for elections. I am saying, go ahead, pass your fucking laws, and start suing people who express their opinions that you don't like. Go ahead. Your brother's company wants to sue the Muhammad. Yeah, there's a long list of people, not just the Muhammads, who talked about. I talked about it too. Many people, hundreds, sue everybody. Give it a shot. You're the tyrannic leader, the big boss, the president. Go ahead. When I talk like this, I don't have time for bullshit. And I'm telling you, Guyanese, you have bigger things to worry about right now. And what you have to worry about is the fact that you are living in a country that you can't afford. You're born, you're raised, your ancestors fought, bled, and died for that country. And you are alive today, and you can't afford to live in the country that you built. In the contractors that are getting the billion, multi-billion contracts, you built the country. Because if it wasn't for your population size, the taxes wouldn't be there to compare to the income. So therefore, nothing would be built. All the projects that are being done, they are being done on your backs. On your backs. Because guess what? All those monies that are going into contracts, they're loans. Loans were secured to finance the budget. The 1 point whatever trillion plus they went back again to beg for more money. Loans are financing that. Then taking the monies from the oil, they're borrowing the money to finance the budget. And as long as they borrow the money, it has to be repaid. And who's repaying it? Not Ali nor his cabinet. You, the taxpayers, has to repay that money. And speaking of Ali and his cabinet, at the end of the day, when you can't afford to put gas in your car, to fill your grocery cart in the supermarket, to feed your children, to send your children for the free education that you are technically still paying for, nothing is free in Guyana. Everything you're paying for. And the fact that they promised you 50% reduction in your electricity bill, and now it's going to be possibly the end of 2027. And like I said yesterday, when 2027 comes, it's going to prolong until 2029. Then you'll have a short experience with a 50-50, maybe not so much. That if you are dumb enough, if you are stupid enough to vote this band of lunatics again 2030, you would live to see that 50 go back to 100 with a long list of excuses as to why it has to return to that amount. And while I'm on this note here, every area in Guyana that is impacted with this nonsense with electricity are poor people, in the true sense of poor. Every area, from Berbice to Essequibo to Linden. It's a systematic plan and policy to keep the impoverished neighborhoods in Guyana impoverished forever. Regardless of what they do and how much they vote, nothing will change because that's the plan. If you empower these neighborhoods, you make them the neighborhoods more vibrant, economically vibrant. It means the government can't use them when they want them for their nonsense. They can't. Sadly for the people of Linden, your ancestors may have fucked up. It doesn't mean that you have to continue to pay for that. You have to stand up once and for all and either declare yourself independent from the rest of the country and run your own affairs, or do what you do best. Run the government out when they come to your town. Run them out. Because all those companies in Linden, all those companies that are enjoying 12 Guyana dollars per kilowatt of light, look who owns them. All those companies, look who are the persons who owns them. Are they owned by people in Linden? No, they're not. In Georgetown, look who owns them. The people who are exploiting the system, look who the owners are. So when the president comes on his press conference and talk about procurement and digitalization of this and digitalization of that, and everything will go online so you can see who gets more contract and who owns what. You've been saying that since 2020, Mr. President. As a matter of fact, you criticized Granger for the same shit. You had 5 years to fix it. But you can't. Because if you do, we will see who the contractors were that would have secured all the major contracts. I don't put them in categories, large contractors and small contractors. How the fuck you think they get big? You think they started big? No, people like you, Ali, caused them to get big. Just like your brother, allegedly. Now I have to say allegedly. After 3 days, he had nothing. Came from Canada broke. A factory worker. Came from Canada broke. With a Bangladeshi colleague. Set up a company. You put the Bangladesh man to front it. Oh, it's an Indian company. Bangladesh and India. But the thing is, he started with what investment? Where did he secure his capital from to get all them equipment and stuff he needed for that company? Who loaned him the money? You mean a guy in a bank, a man who came from Canada, started a company, went to the bank, and within 2 days got $1 billion loan to buy equipment? So when you're talking about small contractors and large contractors, your brother is in that category of large contractors. How did he get large? I want you to answer this, man. You're not answering the fucking question. You had a whole 1 hour press conference talking a bunch of shit. Nothing of substance. Nothing of substance. The only way Guyanese can grow is if they get opportunities to grow. And with a government like yours that has a fixed, closed system, how can a small contractor in Guyana ever dreamed of getting big? Because the contracts he or she will get is below 5 million. While somebody who just go and register a company yesterday can be handed a contract for $1 billion, and overnight he's a large contractor and he stays there because you discriminated against the small contractors, namely black contractors. You discriminated against them. So what procurement system coming online? When it's all said and done? When everything is built and your friends and families get all the contracts, then it's going to come online. So we're going to say, well, Mohammed was right. Look here. This one was right. That shit will never happen. You've been touting that for a long time. Transparency will never happen under your government, President Ali. You are better off in the opposition. Better off in the opposition. Because you people seem to be good at getting information. How do you think Azrin gets his information? From PNC people? Talk to me now. We're talking. Mr. President, talk to me. Where do you think Azrin gets this information from? By the way, a 75-year-old pensioner in Guyana, 75-year-old Indian pensioner, he was supposed to get his NIS 16 years ago. 16 years ago. He's still waiting to get it. He challenged the government, your government, President Ali. He challenged your government only because he was having issues getting his pension. Went to court, won the case to get his pension. Fuck, man. He won the case. A 75-year-old Indo-Guyanese man who is bedridden. Bedridden. You know what happened? Anil Nandalal filed an appeal. And the case has been appealed in the appeals court and is currently in the appeals court. Fucking Anil. The man who want to shut black people, censor them so they can't speak, that same man filed an appeal against an old 75-year-old bedridden Indo-Guyanese man against the man getting his NIS. His NIS. If that man dies tomorrow, and if motherfucker, man, if he dies tomorrow, he would have died without ever experiencing his NIS that he earned. How many more Guyanese right now are denied their NIS? Some of them have to hope and pray that they live to age 65 so they can ask for old age pension. How many? And you're coming on your press conference, President Ali, and talking about numbers in the healthcare system. Numbers, like if we give a fuck. And people are starving and dying because of the little stupid old age pension that they're getting. They can't even get that. And people are having billions in contracts from their tax-paying dollars, but they can't get their pension. Because we care, right? Yeah. So this isn't a racial thing, Guyanese. This is a sick government with a lying theatrical president surrounded by a bunch of hooligans only concerned about covering their own ass, stealing without getting caught, coming online and threatening and saying whatever they need to say to get the little or the few to buy into their narrative, that they can continue with what they're doing. While the masses of Guyana are seeing their country overtaken by light-skinned Spanish-speaking people, by foreigners who come in and steal the land from the people. Because when you give access to Guyana's land, Mr. President, without consulting the people, that is stealing from the people. It's my opinion. So while you want to take those black people off the land in Caneview, you want to run them off their land in Caneview, they're living there for 30 plus years, some longer, and you want to get rid of black people, single mothers, to build a fucking play field for who to play on? Charles Ramson Jr.? Are you the one trying to get those blacks off the land because you want to build a recreational play field? For what? For you? Is that the excuse, and then you're going to give it to somebody to build a factory or a bond? What government reserve? When you talk about government reserve, usually it's by the trenches. You need to leave room for the high mark to drive by and to clean the trenches. Not reserve. Anything else is the people's land. So all of this shit you come in talking about, not addressing what Guyanese are concerned about, I'll tell you, my fellow Guyanese, to the ones in Caneview, the residents there, don't move. Fight for your right to stay on your land. Don't you fucking move. They want to play dictator? Show them who is the dictator. Remember, your first blood is being black. Remember that. Your first instinct is being black. So if they send a nigger to you to move you, fight against him. But you don't move. It in Ali's land or who this asshole is, Charles Ramson. It in his land. It in the government land. It's the people's land. They ain't consulting you when they're giving their land away to Australian firms and Chinese and these other people. They don't ask your permission. They get a drawback and they give you land. When they get in the royalties from all the gold mining, you don't see it. You don't see a cent of the royalties. So when you are on your land, you stay on your fucking land. Don't move. Fight against a tyrannic system. Fight against them because they advise you to do the same thing when it was Granger. This government now, with a lunatic Edgel, all of them were encouraging you Guyanese not to move, to fight against cyber laws, to fight against all the things the government was trying to impose on Guyanese with Granger. This Irfan Ali and his people were calling Granger a dictator. Well, you are taking it way far, Ali. Too far. So we can't say you are a dictator. You are a tyrant. An evil tyrant. So Guyanese need to fight back. If elections were tomorrow or next year, I wouldn't say fight. Because I know that will be the end of the PPP. But since we have another 4 years, you got to fight. Otherwise, you would literally walk into every government facility. You would literally walk into every government facility in Guyana, ministry, whatever department controlled by the government. You will literally walk there, and the people you will see administering orders to the others will be light-skinned, Spanish, or if we still have some light-skinned Indians in Guyana, those, the Chinese, the European-looking ones. My point is, the ones who would rule you in every government agency would be light-skinned people. You're seeing it already. You're seeing it already. And it's not because they're paying them less. No, they're paying them much more than they're giving you. They're having much more benefits than you are getting. It's because they have no respect for you. And they realize they have lost confidence with the Guyanese people. Guyanese people want nothing more to do with Ali or the PPP, nothing more. So what they do now, they have to plan for their future survival, which is integrate these foreigners into the system give them voting right, make them visible so they become a norm to the Guyanese by seeing them every day. So the next election or local government elections, they can claim they have so many votes because why? Naturalized citizens, those who lived in Guyana for 1 year or more, voted for the PPP. And since they are largely Spanish-speaking people, you can't beat that, right? Can you? Well, you can. Stand up now and fight now and resist. And you will see you can beat it. Because if you don't fight and resist it, the big contractors will become giants. The schools will eventually be overrun by Spanish-speaking teachers. The police force will be infiltrated by Spanish-speaking superintendents and captains and chiefs. The army will also get to that level. While the few in the PPP that are controlling the wheel, they'll just rotate positions. They'll just rotate. This 5 years you, the next 5 years you, the next 5, they'll rotate that and keep it like that forever. Because the people under them don't give a shit about the real Guyanese, because the real Guyanese are the dark-skinned ones. And the dark-skinned ones, welcome to Asia. So here, I wanted to make sure I cover all my points. So here, we don't want any of that crap anymore. Any of that crap. What we want is our country back. We want our country back. Guyana belongs to Guyanese. The oil belongs to Guyanese. The revenue from the oil belongs to Guyanese. All them contracts belongs to Guyanese. And we need to take it back. Not by talking, not by making threats, but actions. Actions. The only opposition leader in Guyana's past and present future, the only opposition leader that mirrors the character and the interest of Jagan when he was in opposition is Muhammad. The only one. If the government is successful in shutting up Azriddin Mohammed, it's a sad day for Guyana. A sad day. You can't depend on the PNC or APNU. They were the worst opposition ever. Easily bribed, easily corrupted. If you want to bring some kind of normalcy, or to reclaim Guyana's democracy, or to bring Guyana back to Guyanese in such a dictatorial, tyrannic regime as Irfan Ali, we need to make sure that we keep Azriddin Mohammed on the soils of Guyana until the next elections. Until the next elections. If they are successful in getting rid of that man, meaning extraditing that man, we are fucked. There is no one else to replace him. No one. They all will be compromised. All of them will be compromised. It is in the interest of Guyana right now that as a country, we rally behind that same corrupt billionaire. At least we know President Ali, we know Mohammed is corrupt. We know he's not credible. We know we can't trust him. But guess what, President Ali? I have news for you, because you also seem not to know that we know you are corrupt. We know we can't trust you. We know your government is not credible. So where do we stand? Where do we stand? We have tried the PPP forever. You're not Chedi, you'll never be Chedi. You, Jagdio, you will never be Chedi Jagan. You don't even mention the man. You don't even give the man credit for shit. The PPP died when Chedi died. What you have now is just a bunch of hustlers who are fighting for positions so they could steal. That's what you get. So right now, I would encourage Guyanese, for their own benefit, to make sure that you pay attention to the first opposition leader since Chedi Jagan to make a difference when it comes to holding the government responsible for its corruption. And you should stand with that man, Azriddin Mohammed. I'm least fucking interested with you bunch of lunatics talking about Mohammed get to me. You're fucking disrespectful. I get it. Fuck you. You're disrespectful. You're a piece of shit. I ain't a fucking lowlife. You're a lowlife. Nobody got to me. If the PPP didn't get to me, how the fuck you think Mohammed will get to me? I did all kinds of shit for the PPP. They ain't had the courtesy to even get to me to say thanks. For fucking free. So now, because I decided to stand independently and speak truth to justice, you think Muhammad got to me? No, he didn't. So I'm saying now, I'm volunteering, telling you Guyanese, the sensitive one, the ones with brains, look at the facts. Look at your country. Examine the rhetoric coming out of the government side. Look at all that they're doing online with their platforms and how they're manipulating information against people who somehow don't want to talk for them. Against what? It's being nervous, you're afraid. If you're that transparent and that good, you don't have to worry about what comes out the other side. Guyanese aren't stupid. Guyanese aren't gullible. It's people like me tell Guyanese to vote for you. People like me. But if it was up to the Guyanese themselves, they would have voted for the PNC. So they aren't stupid. They listen to credible voices, to credible individuals, and I'm credible. I'm one of the credible ones. So I'm telling Guyanese now, turn your attention to the movement headed by Azriddin Mohammed. Win. We invest in nationhood. Turn your attention to them. While I say that, President Ali, if you can, Kwame, if you can, tell those pundits, don't push Doggy. Tell them don't push Doggy on the people. Doggy, you think Doggy's comments have any weight? You think people will say that, oh, listen to how Doggy is talking about the Mohammeds. Oh, Doggy this. Come on, man. You're fucking desperate. You think anybody will listen to that shit? If you are targeting Indo-Guyanese to tell them that, well, look at one of the persons who used to be with Win. He is now talking like he's talking for the PPP. Let us push him. Let us embrace Doggy. Well, them coolie people who would fall for that bullshit, they themselves are stupid. Because what you're telling them is that they're so dumb, such a low life, that you are selling a nigger, you're selling them a nigger that they would not, under no normal circumstance, entertain in their yard. You're telling them, Oh, embrace this nigger now. He's become the house slave. You're insulting Indo-Guyanese. But if they accept it, those are coolie. It's desperation. Doggy. Oh, doggy, this. Oh, come on, man. Shit. And fucking Claudine. What the fuck, Claudine? I see why you couldn't value my input, because I'm not in that category. I'm too upscale for you. You come to me, you got to come good. You can go to those pissants, empty-headed Negroes, push anything their way, and yeah. But with me, you have to come good. Well, this is me coming good. I'm saying to Guyanese, if you need anybody to consider credible, look to the Mohammeds. Azruddin in particular. Whether the man entered politics because of indictment, Mr. President, whether he did it because of sanctions, Mr. President, he's a Guyanese, and the law, the Constitution, allowed him to enter, allowed him to run, and allowed him to be sworn in as the opposition leader. The same Constitution you vowed to uphold allowed him. So we are now, according to the Constitution, dealing with a president and an elected opposition leader, not a sanctioned man, not an indicted man, the opposition leader. When it comes to politics in Guyana, he's the opposition leader. The whole other stuff, the whole world knows. The world who knows about Guyana knows the Americans' issues with the Mohammeds. Ain't no secret. Everybody knows. Don't remind us. I know, you know, the whole country knows. That doesn't excuse the fact that you should be allowed to get away with corruption. Allegedly. You're so thin-skinned. You should have defended or addressed the whole brother thing. That's the purpose of a press conference. Deal with the issues that matters, that Guyanese are concerned about. Deal with that. Don't deflect into something else that is not important. What's important? We want to know what's happening with our money, why only a few persons are getting it, while the country starves, why black people are being attacked, forced off, why the government is trying its best to cover up all these issues with the Burima tragedy. We want to know that. That's what's important to us. Not numbers with how many hospitals you built. If the PNC was in government, they would have built hospitals too, because money is there. They all tried to find a way to steal. And that's how you steal. You build shit. You put 3 times, 4 times markup. That's how you steal. Now, share this live. I can go on, but I have to leave some for later. I want to hear from you in the comment section. And again, go ahead and express yourself. Say how you feel. I have no issues with that. If you can't read, I understand why you can't buy a book. If you are that selfish, I understand why you will not make contributions to the Zeller account, which directly helps the Dorga Foundation, because you're greedy. I won't say you're racist, you're just greedy. Selfish, like the president. So I understand. And the ones who don't contribute to anything I do, this platform, as a matter of fact, they don't even pay taxes in their country. They're the loudest on social media criticizing me. The loudest. The names they, I mean, Anil, I should be suing people. I should be suing people because the claims they make about me, my gosh, I'll be rich. Anil? Yes. I can buy all the stuff I need for my foundation. I can build a big magazine. I can include more people. Maybe I can do like 2,000 people a month. But no. The internet exists for people to express themselves. The only person who has a right to sanction people is the man who owns Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. They have the right, and they're doing it. You know, they're censoring people. But when you come to politics and you're the president, the government that is corrupt, you're not serving the people, you're lying and just putting a few people that are benefiting from you to deceive the rest, the many, you need to be criticized and held accountable. So thank you again, Ajidi Muhammad, the grandson of a Bajan woman, great-grandson of a Bajan woman, Barbados. Yes, Barbados. Your great-grandson is opposition leader of Guyana. He could be president. You never know. Yeah, he's 20% black. It's true. He wasn't lying. He is. You want to see the check he gave me? You want to know how much I got? You want to match that? Would you like to match it? Okay. Maybe it's $100,000. Would you like to offer $150,000? Maybe it's $200,000. Would you like to offer $250,000? No, then shut the fuck up. That's how you show you are interested. You want to match the offer. You want to better it. If you can't better it, don't be like them Christians coming around telling people to give up their life and follow the church. Because in the church, you have riches in heaven. So they want you to give up coffee, to go to the church, to drink water, and hope that when you die, you're going to taste coffee with honey in heaven. Ain't like that. So if you think I am benefiting from Win or Azudine, and you think I'm benefiting in the thousands, tens of thousands, and you want me to walk away from that back to the PPP, where I was getting nothing? Come on, man, I'm your brother. Why would you want me to be broke and miserable and hungry belly? Won't you want me to have some kind of income to survive? Come on, man. You want me to turn away from this massive offer to come and push Ali's lies and corruption? For what? Nothing? Think about it. You see how it sounds? It's none of that, but I just made a point there to you. Guyana first. I am concerned about my people, not Azudine or Ali or Win or PPP. My people. Guyanese are robbed, raped, abused, misused, discriminated against for too long. Enough is enough. Now is the time to bring the fucking courting down. New elections. New elections. And if you're that good, Ali, like Anil said, if you're that popular, Granger, you wouldn't be afraid to have elections early, right? Because people will vote for you. Same way. Anil, if Ali is that popular, and you are that certain, Anil, then the PPP will win again, then let's have new elections. On what basis? On what basis? Yeah, the fact that Nigel Dharamlal had to quit. He was fired. He had to resign over pussy. Nigel Dharamlal was Ali's minister of local government. Ali picked him. And he had some allegations about some woman who says he eat her pussy without her permission. and sending for whatever text, whatever shit, picture back and forth. He had to resign and get out the parliament for pussy. Something as sweet and pleasurable for both men and women. He lost his job, his credibility. Now they're trying to get him back in the system. But the point is, for that, Nigel Dharamlal was kicked out. For that. Where is Ejel and Indar? Where is Ejel and Indar? Over 100 people dead, haven't even been recovered. The massive corruption. Where are they? Same PPP, same president. Where are they? Okay. You get my point? So it's either he's afraid of Ejel and Indar, or Nigel Dharamlal was just another pussy who just had a lesbian sex with a woman who didn't like him. But when it's fair, it's fair. If Dharamlal had to quit over some vagina, Ejel and Indar should be in prison over debt. Share this live. Thanks for your attention. Until next time. Goodbye.